and Lyft, they're both like cabs. They don't call themselves cabs, whatever. They've been having problems with the government, and particularly in this
like us all
was with Austin, Texas. They had ruled that rightfully.
Oh, that's
so,
right. You can't get them in Austin.
Yeah, rightfully so. They changed it so that they wanted Uber to have the same background check mechanism as the cab companies, which I think is fair. If you have regulations
that sounds right.
If you have regulations for one industry, you can't. Basically, Uber
or
wants to
one part of the industry.
Yeah, Uber wants to play by their own rules, and like they're like, oh, we do background checks, but they don't. They don't do the same thorough ones that like the local governments do, because what they do is they actually do it through like a FBI database, and it doesn't even. I think it might even be an international background check, possibly. I don't know. I'm not a background checker, but anyway, it's more thorough than what Uber does and what Lyft does. So anyway, they ended up saying, look, if you don't do it this way, you can't do business here. So they said, all right, we're not going to do business here. So check this out. Out of this fire, because people were like, oh man, now we don't want to use cab companies, is basically what the whole thing was, right?
Yeah.
Genius. I don't know why anybody didn't think of this sooner. They made a Facebook group that is called, here, let me get the exact name. It's called, I'm typing in the wrong password. Darn it. Arcade City Austin Facebook group. And basically people.
Arcade City Austin?
Yeah, it's called Arcade City. And you gotta,
arcade, like playing arcades?
Yeah.
Okay.
Spelled the same exact way.
Oh, I thought it was arcane.
Arcade, like the game. Yep.
Okay. All right.
So they made a Facebook group, and as you know, with the band thing we're on, whenever somebody sends a message, you can set it so that there's a notification.
Yeah.
So like they have all these people who used to work for Uber. I was about to say Uber, for Uber or Lyft. And they go on, they keep the thing open, they keep Facebook open, and then they get a notification, I need somebody to pick me up. And there's messages like every 5 minutes from people. No wonder Uber is making a shit ton of money.
Oh yeah.
Every 5 minutes.
Well, you have to think about how much of a pain in the ass was to go out. Like,
what do you mean?
Like if you live in Baltimore County and you want to go into the city to go to bars and stuff, bar hopping,
yeah,
it's a pain in the dick. You have to either have somebody who is going to be a designated driver, and that's real fucking boring for a designated driver. That's why designated driver situations often don't go down. Like the designated driver will get drunk too, and then they're like, fuck, and they have to get a taxi.
Yeah.
But taxis are real fucking expensive at a certain time. Now, Uber does those peak hours too, but they're not nearly as expensive as the taxis.
Yeah.
So, and then if you do, it's the pickup. They do a pickup where they're picking a few people up, and you're wrapped up in that.
Yeah.
It's even cheaper. So let's say,
like a mini bus, basically.
Like 3 or 4 people sign up for that, and they're all in power plant. Then all 3 or 4 of them get picked up. The guy driving gets more money, but it's less for the people who are getting picked up. So
gotcha.
It makes sense that this would,
it makes sense if you can. I'm sure they figured it out with their algorithms and just doing GPS and saying, okay, well, all these people need a ride to this destination,
exactly
area based, and then because I can't imagine they would make it like any more than like a 5-mile radius destination.
No, but think about like,
you know what I'm saying?
How many people like when we go out, like when Mile and I used to go out to like power plant, we would go to hold on. We would go out to Tex-Mex. That was our favorite place. We'd always run into people from Dundalk. You don't think all of us would be going back to Dundalk? I mean, how big? I mean, let's say we all just live in, let's say between where we are and where I live is 1.5 miles.
Right.
Let's say you have 4 people. You're in a mini, as an Uber driver, you're in a minivan, you pick up 5 or 6 people, and all of those people are happy because they paid a lot less than what they would in a taxi.
And you're
but
happy.
you're making more than the taxi would.
Yep.
So,
because you don't have to go back to the city.
Yeah.
You're just dropping different people off.
and I tell
It's
you
great.
what, another thing is in Towson, this Jimmy's Cab has the lockdown on all cab usage.
What do you mean?
It's like the only cab service in Towson.
Like, because there's
That's
nobody
used.
else.
I don't know if
There?
nobody else services it or just nobody else call. Like they don't, like nobody else has that number. Because every time you go to like the front of a bar or the front of a restaurant, or when I worked at the hotel up there, they only had Jimmy's number. They didn't have any other cab service. Problem is at the hotel, and you think they would be more gracious at a hotel since we have to call them 30, 40 times a night. They would show up like real quick. Sometimes they wouldn't get there for 15, 20 minutes. And it's like, your building I could walk to in 15 and 20 minutes, you know, and it wouldn't be busy times. It would be like, 3 in the afternoon, or it'd be like 11:30, 12 o'clock at night.
So they got stuck in their ways. They got
they just got happy.
They got used to being a monopoly.
Fuck yeah.
So
now I wish we could see Uber when I worked there, while I was working there, because you'd see that change. Those people from Jimmy's are probably there quick as shit now.
yeah, because they have
And now-
competition.
Now there used
that's
to be
like-
a couple
dude.
guys that would hang out like near the hotel just waiting, but
Like
3 months into it, they were gone.